It is the most wonderful time of the year. The burr months are here. When I flipped the calendar over to September, I was not disappointed with this beautiful, vibrant fall scene. And I said to myself, don't do anything too early. That's what I did in years past. And I said, you know what? Wait until the middle of the month or even the first day of autumn. That is 3 weeks away. And this year, I just want to enjoy every little thing about my favorite season. So we had a little spill with the sunflower tablecloth. I washed it. And when I pulled it out from the dryer, I just wasn't feeling it because it needed to be ironed. So I got my Pioneer Woman tablecloth out. I've had it for years. And it's true what they say, absence makes the heart grow fonder. And I think I fall more in love with it every time I get it out. And I think it's just the perfect transition before I get all of my pumpkin tablecloths out. So it's a little bit of a chilly September morning and I'm still enjoying all of the sunflower decor. But I am going to light this little sweater weather candle and just have a little bit of fall ambience on this chilly September morning. It's just a YouTube channel on our TV and you can see like the leaves are falling. I'll link it down below. It's just a nice ambiance with like the relaxing jazz music, and I'm just taking a little bit of time to myself before the day gets going. And I got some fall books, Fall for Murder, Pumpkin Spice, and Everything Nice. But when I saw the Pumpkin Spice Cafe on somebody's social media, I was influenced. And I've had a really hard time just getting back into reading and enjoying it. So I'm going to start off with this Fall for Murder. It's a little bit of a shorter book, and I think it'll be perfect. So Linus is waiting for me. I treated myself to a grande pumpkin spice latte with an extra shot of espresso. I got one of my fall blouses out, and as soon as I started reading this book, I was like, okay, I am really going to like this. It's very descriptive of everything fall, and she does a lot of baking, and there's a little bit of a mystery. So I read 2 chapters and I am really excited. It's a very easy read, and she seems to have a lot of other books. But honestly, as the day went on, every little minute that I wanted to get back into it, and that is something I have not enjoyed for a very long time. So Fall for Murder by Kathleen Suzette. It's time for a little brunch on this holiday weekend. So I got my Pioneer Woman New Fall magazine out, and I just saw these apple cinnamon pancakes and they looked absolutely delicious. Yes, everything is pumpkin spice, but September apples are very popular too, and I want to ease into it. So here's the basic pancake recipe. You can pause it and write everything down if you want. I'll link a recipe down below that's pretty similar. There's a couple of things that are changed, but what I liked about this recipe is that it talks about all the different things that you can do to mix it up. So I just wrote it out, and I'm going to do the apple cinnamon. So you just add cinnamon to the dry ingredients, and to the wet ingredients, you just add some grated apple and then a tablespoon of lemon juice. But you do have to let this sit for 45 minutes to 1 hour. So I'm going to go ahead and get these started.
When your life's been put on hold for far too long, when the sorrow and despair is growing strong, there is always something good to be obtained from breaking loose and leave the things that kept you chained. So when you find the strength to really shed your skin, all you really need to do is search within. So when you find the strength to really shed your skin, all you really need to do is search within. All you really need to do is search within.
Everything is mixed up, and she said to let it sit for 45 minutes to an hour. So I got the sausages cooked, I cleaned up all the dishes, I read a couple of chapters in the book, and after 30 minutes, my enamel covered cast iron skillets were ready to go. I got these at Costco and I absolutely love them. 3 in the larger pan and then 2 in the smaller. And I have to say, this one's in the smaller pan, I found they cooked a lot better. I found that the heat was better distributed than in the larger pan. And I know, it's not always easy to make everything from scratch, but the one thing I do prefer is pancakes. I just love buttermilk pancakes. And this was definitely worth it. I know the recipe said to use 1.5 cups. I think it said 3 apples in the brackets, and I used 2 Granny Smith apples. When I make these again, I will use 3, a little bit of maple syrup, a little bit of whipped cream, and some cinnamon, just because it's the first weekend of September. It's time to enjoy the beautiful fresh air, burn off some of those pancakes, and as we were walking, just to see little hints of the beautiful fall colors starting to appear, the oranges, the yellows, the reds. I cannot wait, and I know there's going to be so many beautiful walks in the next few weeks. I'm just so excited about it. I love that it's cool in the morning, beautiful in the afternoon with all of the warm sun, and then in the evenings it cools down and it's perfect for sleeping. I cannot wait. Looks like we're going to have a couple of warmer days the first week of September, but then after that it looks like it's going to be beautiful fall weather, and maybe I'll be able to sit out and enjoy a little bit of reading here. Oh, the blue skies, the clouds, you can see the leaves just blowing with a little bit of breeze. So now it's time to get ready for dinner. Sweet and smoky ribs. I thought I'd do something different. Once again, I went to the Pioneer Woman just to see if there was a recipe to do ribs in the oven. And there was, so I'm just going to go ahead and make the rub. It was quite a few spices. I will link it down below. Calls for 2 tablespoons of chili powder, 2 tablespoons of onion powder, call for a tablespoon of kosher salt. I just used a little under a tablespoon, 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, and I find that's just a little bit too strong, so I use 1 teaspoon of that, 2 tablespoons of packed light brown sugar, teaspoon of black pepper, and then it called for 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. I just used I think a little under 1/2 teaspoon of chipotle chili powder. That's what I have. And then you just mix it all up and then you rub it into the ribs. Now I have about 5 pounds of baby back ribs that I bought on sale, and I'm going to do them in the oven. So I have the oven preheated to 300 degrees, and we're just going to let the oven do all of the work. We always do ribs in this once a year in the summertime, and my husband does them on the barbecue, and it's just really hard to regulate the temperature, and sometimes they're a little bit chewy, sometimes they're falling off the bone, and I just wanted to give this a try. So you just wrap them up in tin foil, then you put them on a cookie sheet, and then all you do is put them into the oven, and then the oven will do all of the work, and we're really excited about it. It was a cooler day, so it was nice to open up the windows and just let the oven do all of the work. We didn't have to stress out and worry about it, so we will check on these after 2.5 hours. And it was a little bit of a mess sticking to the pan, but I love the way that they turned out. Hubby took them out on the barbecue just to finish them off with a little bit of barbecue sauce, just using the Sweet Baby Rays. I'm all about keeping things simple, so I went to Google. I found a recipe on how to do corn on the cob in the air fryer. It turned out perfect. The ribs, these were the best ribs we ever ate. Everybody loved them. These are my homemade beans. I'll link a video down below. It shares with you how I make them. And then the corn, I just put a little bit of oil and used this buttery steakhouse seasoning, and it was delicious. And then just bought in macaroni salad. It was such a good dinner. And what better way to end the first day of September by working on a puzzle? We did the first one. Andrew really enjoyed it. And then he had this one open, ready to go. So I got the frame and everything going, and he's been working so hard on it. He has so many pieces in here, but It was the perfect beginning to September. I can't wait. It just feels like a fresh start. It's definitely been an interesting couple of years, but I don't know. I just feel like I'm ready to get back into the groove, and it just feels like September definitely is that fresh start for myself. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of these and you're new, please subscribe.